All right, so what is a counterplan? Well, the affirmative gets their plan, the negative gets to offer their counterplan or their counterexample. So the example I was giving earlier, which is, what if the resolution is resolved? We should take a road trip for our vacation. So the affirmative says we're taking a road trip. The counterplan could be like, no way, we don't want to be on a road trip. How about we fly so we don't kill each other in the car on the way? So there is, an additional benefit to flying. And this is what we need to talk about when we talk about counterplans, and I'll kind of explain it in this term, is there's some basic parts to it. First of all, with a counterplan, there's always a text. Just like there's a text to the plan, you notice in the plan that I gave everybody around, there's that paragraph that isn't evidence, isn't from another source, that is just what are we going to do. Counterplan has the same sort of text. What exactly are we going to do? The other thing is a counterplan can't be topical, or it shouldn't be topical. Some people argue they can be, but for the most part they should be non-topical. And then there has to be some reason that they compete. And what do I mean by that? How do they compete? It means they can't be done at the same time, or there's no reason they should be done at the same time. Because if there is, in that case, that means that the affirmative plan is good, and you might as well vote for the affirmative plan, and who cares if the counterplan is good? We're here to debate the affirmative. So there are two ways you can do that. One is they're just straight up mutually exclusive. You can't drive and fly at the same time, right? You just can't do that, so that's fine. Or it can compete on what's known as net benefits, which is, even if you could do them at the same time, it would actually be worse than doing the counterplan on its own, as opposed to doing the counterplan with the affirmative. Now, this also leads to, how does the affirmative answer counterplans? They get these cute little things called permutations, and that's where they try to add the affirmative plan and the counterplan and squeeze them together. So if I was going to offer a permutation to the counterplan from road trips to flying, I might say, oh, no, we're not mutually exclusive. How about we rent a car and drive out and then fly home? All right, so that way we get the experience of getting to see the country, and about the time we're all sick of each other, we can hop on a plane and be back home, and we don't have to talk to each other for another week. So that would be the permutation, how we could answer that. And some of the counterplans you're going to see on this topic are, I think you'll see the states, because the states are really big into social services. You'll see non-government organizations, nonprofits that'll do it. Some people will try to legislate through the courts. Typically that's to avoid a politics disadvantage. And then some people might run a Japan counterplan. Maybe Japan's really good at reducing poverty, and so they come into California and fix it or something. I don't know. I think that one's probably a little far off, but those are out there. And so that's just sort of a brief hit on counterplans.